Hey, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Good evening. Good evening. I see T King's already got a question up. The man's got a quiz here tonight. Ancient of Days, what's going on? What's happening? Good to see you. Good to see you. PN Dub, what's going on, fam? All right, all right. Good to see you guys.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good,
to
good.
see you. Good to see you. So yeah.
KCL
Yeah.
fam. Hope everyone's doing good.
Yeah. The fam is in. The fam is in the house. All right. So I am Reginald Kuakaru, and I help those who are dealing with or leaving that have left Christianity, or at least even just thinking about it, get over the negative Christian programming so they can live life authentically, unapologetically, and on their terms without guilt or shame. Because that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. Christianity tells you that if you're having too much fun, it might be a sin. So if you have fun, you might feel guilty about it. You shouldn't feel guilty about having fun. That's what life is about. Live it to the fullest. That's what I'm talking about.
Most
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Yes. And I am
Yeah.
the daughter and sidekick, Voice, and I help bridge the gap between the spiritual and the physical for those who need help or guidance along their journey. And my speciality is astrology, tarot, really any and all divination, speaking to spirit in general. So happy to be here with you guys tonight.
All right, all right. Glad to have you here alongside. Glad to have you here alongside.
Yes.
So we got one question, first question up tonight. And I think this is a really interesting question. I don't know if it's like sarcasm or what, because it's just interesting. Did Christopher Columbus exist or not? And I don't think that there is any question on anybody anywhere in the world that Christopher Columbus existed or not. I mean, the king that he or queen that he did the voyages for existed. The ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria existed. The islands that he went to and documented and killed, and raped, and ravaged people existed. All of that is documented by many, many people. Okay. So to even ask that question to me is like, and to put Jesus and the documentation on the same par is absolutely ludicrous. Because if you take away the Bible, Jesus, the Jesus Christ that we know, disappears. There's nobody that's seen him walk on water. Because you got to think about this. Everything that we're talking about in the Gospels about Jesus, his miracles, all of this stuff was documented and put together 300 years after the supposed event. Any of the supposed books that were written at least 150 years after his supposed death. Okay? The one mention, supposed mention, of somebody outside the Bible about Jesus was from Josephus Flavius, and the Flavium Testimonium has been proved a fraud. The one thing. Oh, there was one other, some Roman emperor that supposedly mentioned them or something. Both of those have been proven frauds. So it's like if you remove the Bible, then Jesus disappears. This Jesus Christ person. But Columbus has plenty of documentation. You know what the thing is too? I mean, there were Egyptian kings and pharaohs and queens that existed thousands of years ago. They got grave sites. They got written documentation about them. They got archaeological evidence. They got all of this stuff that proves that these people existed. Jesus has absolutely no archaeological evidence. Oh, well, he ascended into heaven. Okay. You know, no archaeological evidence whatsoever that can be proven. Scholars know this. Biblical scholars know this. So, T King, I got your question. I hope I answered it satisfactorily for you. Columbus existed. Jesus didn't. Now, all right, can we have some more questions, everybody? Let's do this. Daughter, you doing all right this week?
I'm doing amazing. Life is great. I am receiving all that I give, and in terms of love and energy, and I love experiencing my reflection. So life's amazing. How you been, Dad?
Awesome. It's been wonderful. I always figure if I wake up breathing, it's all good after that.
Yeah.
It's been 100% proven so far that no matter what happens during the day, after I wake up breathing, I can handle it.
Yeah. Setting a few intentions never hurt anybody either, right?
No, never has. That is for sure enough. All right.
So
let's see. So Red Rose. Go ahead, Boyshay.
It says, I was born a day where the moon was in the waxing crescent phase. Anything special I should know about that moon phase? I would suggest, so depending on the phase of the moon you were born under, it does tell you about your temperament or certain qualities or gifts that you may have. I don't know each specifically off the top of my head, but I would definitely suggest Googling it. I know there are YouTube videos on the subject. I've studied it as well. I was born under a balsamic moon, which is the mystic moon. So definitely I would advise Googling the waxing crescent phase. I can't think of the specifics off the top of my head right now.
Awesomeness. All right, we got a question up here by Angel G. Let me Zen, do you still pray to Jesus? Jesus never existed, so how can I still pray to him? So no. And so no. But I still exercise a form of prayer that is not like the prayer that we were taught in Christianity. So prayer actually is much deeper and is a scientific principle. And when I say science, that means that there is that there are steps that are identifiable and repeatable that you can get results by taking those steps. It is an absolute science. Okay, the way that we were taught, it's a crapshoot. Dear God, please, if you bring that woman my way, I promise you, I'll go to church. Hey, the brothers, we know about that prayer. God, hey God, oh, she's so fine. God, just let her, please.
Y'all ain't the only ones praying out here, for sure.
We prayed that prayer.
I don't know if y'all heard of Sierra's prayer. That this might not be the generation to talk to, but shoot, yeah, we sending them prayers up too.
Hey, all right. Everybody be doing those prayers. Yeah, if you do, God, if you get me out of this one, I promise I'll go to church every Sunday. 2 Sundays later, you don't even see him no more. Oh, but anyway. So Angel BG gave $5. Thank you, Angel BG. Definitely appreciate that. And I also wanted to recognize Nell Quan Jones. He already gave $25 via Cash App. He's priming that pump. That pump. So we got a question here. So it says, good evening. Finally catching my first live at KCL. What is your take on people who have seen God or Jesus in a near-death experience? Funny you should ask that, because that's something I'll actually be addressing in my class coming up. But I can address that here too. Because this is what you have to understand. And that this is really a really good question. So people that said that they've had near-death experiences, that they have seen Jesus. Now, this is the question that I would ask you, or I'll put this in another way. So let me use an example or an analogy here, just to start my answer off. let's say that that there was a tribe of people that lived in a jungle, okay, and they'd never seen civilization or anything, okay, but one day they saw an airplane fly over. First time that let's say this tribesman saw this airplane, the first time ever. What, how would this tribesman, if he'd never seen an airplane before, how would he describe the airplane to the people who hadn't seen it? What would he do? Naturally, he's going to explain an airplane in the context that he's been brought up and he's been taught about, because he's never seen one. So he's going to probably say, you know what, he's seen a bird, but the airplane was flying like a bird. So he'd probably say, you know what, it was like an iron bird. He might not even know iron, but I'm just saying, it was like an iron bird, that's flying overhead, and it was making some funny noises. Okay. So the only way that he can describe this new experience is from his old, the things that he was familiar with and that he knows. If a person has been raised in Christianity and have been taught ideas through Christianity, and they have a new experience, they can only talk about those ideas in the context of the experience that they've been trained to think in. Okay? So if they see something, a near-death experience is usually going to be new, something new and different for all of us. Mm-hmm. So there's no way that we can explain the idea to somebody else without using it or talking about it in a context that we are familiar with or that we have been trained in. So people who are not Christian don't see Jesus. They see something else. They might see Buddha. They might see Muhammad or somebody else. Okay. But people who have been trained and immersed in Christianity, they're going to see Jesus, or whatever the experience that they had, they're going to call it Jesus, because that's all they know. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't have some type of experience. I want to make that clear. They experienced something. But what do you call that new experience that you've never had? What kind of context can you use to explain it to somebody else? Because more than likely, their idea of Jesus feels some kind of way. That near-death experience, that whatever that was that they experienced, probably felt like they would think Jesus might feel. Okay. So that's how I would look at that. They have no other way to describe that new experience except in the context of their Christian beliefs. That's why they say that they've seen Jesus or God in a near-death experience. Make sense? I hope that makes sense. All right. Yeah.
Well explained. Love that.
But that's all it is. It's really, really simple to explain, but people never think about it in that context.
Right. Okay? I've also heard stories of people saying God spoke to me, or God came to me in a dream, and everything is God. So maybe that was a spirit guide, a loved one, but like you said, you're looking through your lens of experience and
and training. Mm-hmm. And train your lens of experience and training. And with Christians, they are taught in a context, or we were taught in a context, that there is nothing outside the Bible and Jesus in a spiritual context. There is nothing outside of Christianity. So everything that we experience spiritually is going to be named, or how can I say, everything that we experience spiritually, metaphysically, is going to be put in the context of some of their Christian beliefs.
Right.
That's just natural and normal. So their subjective experience has been framed through Christianity, and they don't have any other frame in order to experience stuff.
Or if it doesn't fit within that frame, it's the devil or it's evil.
Bingo. There you go. It's either God or the devil. And if they don't know it, like you say, if and usually whatever they can't, whatever they don't understand, it's the devil, because they'll automatically fear it. Automatically fear it. So good point. Good point. All right. It says, see, D. Brooks says, you talked a while ago about a left out book of the Bible called the Gospel of Thomas. Could you expand on that a little? Yeah, D. Brooks, there are many. Understand that the books of the Bible that are in the Bible were chosen from hundreds of books over that time period, over probably from the 1st century to the 4th century, when the Bible was finally compiled. Okay, because the Bible was compiled. So there are books that are called the Apocrypha. Okay, and I forget what the Greek name of Apocrypha means, but they're Apocrypha, but they are books that are outside of the Catholic canon. They're actually some of these books are actually contained in the Orthodox Christian Bible, or the Eastern Orthodox Christian Bible that came through Ethiopia. Okay, but the canonized Catholic Bible was 66 books. The other Bible was 88 books. Okay, and these books were these books are part of them were the Apocrypha. Okay, but these books, one of them was the Gospel of Thomas, and the Gospel of Thomas actually came from ancient Egypt, because and Thomas means twin. Okay, and it's connected from ancient Egypt through Atum. Okay, tomb is a cognate of the word two. Okay, two and tomb, T-U-T-W-O, U and V. I'm sorry, U and double U are exchangeable. Okay, etymologically. So tomb is means twin. Atum was known as the great he/she, because Atum was considered masculine and feminine, a twin. Okay, but the reason why these apocrypha or these books were not chosen is because they would basically give you information that didn't agree with what the Catholic Church taught about a risen Christ that died and risen. Because back then, the people that were part of the Gnostic sects, they didn't believe in a resurrected Jesus. Most people back then didn't. Okay, they fought at the Council of Nicaea, a guy by the name of Arius, brother named Arius, actually fought the Catholic Church from making this doctrine of a historical risen physical Jesus. Okay, but there are a number of books: the Gospel of Philip, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of there's a number of them. But look up the Nag Hammadi text. You can look up. That's one book that you can look at. And then also there's another book called the Gnostic Gospels that has some of those apocryphal books. Okay, so there's more than one. All right. It's Rawlicious. That's Adrian. Thank you, Adrian. Gave $19.99. All right. Thank you very much. I see another couple up here. Cannabis Maximus gave $3.33, priming that pump. All right. Appreciate you. Then Cynthia, I see. Well, Cynthia gave $50 on Cash App. Thank you, Cynthia. Appreciate you. And Ava Jackson gave $11.11. So thank you. Priming that pump. See, that's family right there.
So
that's
generous.
Family.
Always.
All right. Always. Let's see. Would love to hear your thoughts on the Aboriginals here in America. Are African Americans Africans, or the original people of this land? I don't have any thoughts on that. So I know a lot of people are arguing that stuff. As far as I'm concerned, we're from Africa. So, and it makes sense that there were Africans that actually traveled to the Americas long before even Columbus. That's a definite possibility, the Olmecs and stuff like that. But I don't argue that. That's not something that I've even studied. That's more historical stuff as well. So we're talking about spirituality and metaphysics here. So that's more historical stuff. Okay. So you're welcome, D. Brooks. You're most definitely welcome. Let's see here. Let's see. Alatunji Shamari gave $10. Thank you, Alatunji. Definitely appreciate you.
Good job on that name, Dad. I said, good job on that name.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I think I got that. I think I hit that thing.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I think I did something there.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see. Heru Ma'at gave $19.99. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Let's see. I'm going back up here.
Any questions? I'm scrolling as well.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Keep on doing your thing, chicken wine.
No.
Keep on doing your thing. Oh man, my deal is just like jumping up here. And then let's see. Ancient of Days gave $20. Gave $20. Says you will see whatever your beliefs are. Yeah, that's going back to that original deal. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, Michael. Appreciate that. That's family again. Doing this thing. All right. Says question, are you familiar with alchemy and numerology? I'm noticing the beauty in all good and bad events as well as repeated numbers. Okay, Voice, you want to handle up on that? Or?
So alchemy, from my perspective, is the conversion of vibration. So it's illuminating darkness or distortion, and illumination is enlightenment. And in my opinion, that is what alchemy is. So taking situations that are challenging or uncomfortable and finding the wisdom in it, that is alchemy, or alchemizing the situation. And numerology, I love numerology. I also offer numerology readings for those who don't have their birth time, as well as those who are just simply interested in numerology. And numbers are codes of the matrix, and have energetic expressions that give us insight into the archetypes that are expressed within us all. So our numerology chart is based on our name, okay, which is a code that we decide before we come into Earth. We tell our parents what we want to be named, and in our name, even as it changes, or say you get married, okay, it reflects our evolution, or our path or journey of life, and the challenges, as well as archetypes that we are experiencing, expressing, and it gives us more insight into the universe within, the same way astrology does. So numerology is a very valid and amazing tool for knowing thyself. So
okay, yeah, and on a from a Kemetic perspective, everything that the numerology is the foundation of everything that they're doing. So underneath the mythological characters like Atum and Heru, Osiris, Isis, it's all numbers. And the stories, the mythology actually explains the numbers. Okay. So that for them, the numbers are not just counting, or the numbers are actually formulaic as telling you how the universe functions. That's how deep this stuff is. So a lot of people don't realize that, or don't even know that. You know, that that numbers and numerology is the foundation of everything that is Kemetic. Everything. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got Andre C gave, I guess that's £5. I'm not sure what that what the it's not dollars, but thank you very much. Definitely appreciate it. It's got a question, says, thanks for your time. Says, what's your answer for Christians who say God is real because instances in the book of Revelation has or is playing out? Yeah, and see, Andre, this is the thing, is what a lot of people are doing is they're trying to make sense out of nonsense. You have to understand the Bible from an esoteric perspective and not the exoteric, okay? Exoteric is Exoteric, exoteric. Okay. Then esoteric, which is the secret teachings. And the Bible is really coded knowledge. Okay. It's coded esoteric knowledge. And the people and characters are usually ancient African netters that are personified. Okay, the netters are personified. When I talked about the numbers, the netters are actually the numbers personified. Okay, the Bible characters are the netters with different names, but they're personified. So all this revelation stuff, the end of the world stuff, is a bunch of bull crap. Okay, because they don't know where the knowledge, they don't have the esoteric foundation to interpret those scriptures, and people have just made up stuff for hundreds of years, thousands of years, as far as the Bible is concerned. So there's an exoteric teaching that is divorced from the real true knowledge that's underneath a lot of what those scriptures are saying. Okay, and that's something that in the class that I'm putting together, I'm actually going to address this idea, and even address the idea of Jesus as a historical figure, and show you step by step. I'm going to teach you how to break this knowledge down to show you where Jesus was actually existed as an idea and a concept thousands of years before Christianity ever thought up a historical Jesus. So Jesus Christ does not exist, but the ideas and concepts, the ancient African concepts that are now called Jesus and Christ, existed 10,000 years ago or more. But people don't know the esoteric knowledge underneath the Bible. I'm going to teach that and build a case for you, and help you build a case for the true knowledge of Jesus and Christ, because they're two totally different concepts. Two totally different concepts. Okay, but they're connected to each other. So Christ is not a last name.
I love the way you encourage people to do their own research as well. It's like, you ain't got to believe what I say. Look it up for yourself. But here's the information.
And I'm going to give you the resources.
Right.
In this class, I'm going to give you over 20 books that if you want to look up this stuff yourself and research it more, you can. So I'm going to help you shortcut your study time and years off of it, because it's taken me years to come up and to learn a lot of this stuff. I've read hundreds of books, okay? Hundreds. And I'm going to give you the books to take you right to the knowledge and information that you need, that it can be the jump off point for you to go and study more, but you can be laser focused on it, okay? That's what I'm going to do for you guys, all right?
Empowering.
For real.
Love that.
Let's see. Let's hear you.
That's you, Daddy.
Okay, it says, I looked at the video you made about the crosses. The upside down cross means St. Peter is not a bad symbol. They programmed us to think it's bad, and it's not. Yeah, see, the cross, understand that it in the eschatological phase, the cross is actually a symbolic of the seasons. Okay. So understand, underneath the cross is the number 4. It's because it's 4 points. Okay. And it represents the 4 elements needed for a spirit to cross into the physical, or a soul to cross into the physical. Okay. But in the eschatological phase, it also has another meaning of telling time or seasons. And you can see the Greek cross, which looks like a plus sign, okay? And they're all the sides of it are equal, okay? It looks like a plus sign. That represents the equinoxes, okay? Where the days and nights are equal, 12-hour days, 12-hour nights in the Northern Hemisphere, okay? The cross that we used to, that we say Jesus died on, that means that days are longer than nights, okay? The upside down cross flips and tells you that nights are longer than days. I'm trying to find my camera. Okay. Nights are longer than days. That's what the upside down cross means. And the I guess that has been usurped by Satanists, I guess. I guess they use it some kind of way. I don't know, because I've heard people mention it as something that was satanic. It could be just Christians, because again, you know, when they don't know something, hell, everything is satanic.
Default, yep.
Huh?
I said by default, evil.
By default, it's satanic, you know. So, but the crosses all have a meaning in Christianity. If you've ever seen the papal cross that has three different, the long stick. Man, I wish I could find some of those. I have those pictures for you, but no, it'll take me too long to get them. But the papal cross had these three sticks, and all it does is represent the nights are longer than days. The Greek cross were the equinoxes. There we go. And then St. Peter's cross, where days are nights are longer than days. Okay, so that's all it is. That's all it is. I do my best. I do my best. So Keys in says, Kemetic Center Living, you always speaking facts. I do my best. I do my best. I research this stuff. I love researching this and teaching this, because it's going to free us. Okay? It's going to free us. So for sure, for sure.
Right.
All right, Robert Creators in the house. What's happening?
I must have missed Keisha's question, but Ra got my back. She said you can get a reading by Voice Shay by going to vovibes.com or just simply clicking on my YouTube name on here. So that'll send you all the information you need. Thanks, Ra. Always got my back.
Robert Creators always here, always here. So much.
Always.
So appreciate her. So
Yeah,
appreciate her. Thank you so much.
Yes, Let's see.
Let's see. Nat A says, in the Kemetic realm, how does Wicca pagan practices come into play? See, yeah, this is the thing. You're trying to put something that was not Kemetic into Kemetic. So basically every spiritual system that exists on the planet is the foundation of it is going to be something African. Okay, not necessarily Kemetic, because there's older systems like Yoruba and Ifa are actually older than the Kemetic system. The Kemetic system actually gained knowledge through those systems. Okay, so Wicca and what y'all call pagan, that's actually an insult, you know, to be called a pagan. But that those practices are, I guess, they come some kind of way. They're connected to the ancient spiritual system, but they're not Kemetic. Says, I've been doing a lot of research on it and notices some of what you're talking about. Yeah, so the spirituality. So Nat A, spirituality, a lot of these concepts are going to merge, because when you get into them, there is a truth that is underneath all this stuff that we call religion and all these different. All Kemeticism is a framework. Mm-hmm. Okay, Buddhism is a framework. Christianity is a framework. Okay, and the framework is just a way to organize information. Mm-hmm. All right, so you're going to find some similarities in the truth.
Right.
Where Christianity has the problem is what they created is new, which they're saying that Jesus and the resurrection is a revelation. That new stuff that they created, that's the lie. Okay, but the foundation of where they got it from, there's some truths in it. Okay.
Almost missed family. Dad Ruben said, glad to see family and friends. Peace, love, and abundance to all. Ruben always spreading a positive vibe, priming the pump, giving love. Love, Ruben. Appreciate you, Ruben.
All right, Ruben. Thank you very much, brother. Definitely appreciate it. Right. Definitely appreciate it. And somebody asked me about prayer earlier, and I was going to say I have a training actually, and you can go to whodoyoupraytonow.com. That's scrolling down on the bottom of the screen, and I have a free training that actually teaches you the Kemetic idea of prayer and the Kemetic paradigm of prayer. Okay, so whodoyoupraytonow.com. All right. Let's see. Angel BG says, do you believe that Christianity is blatantly mocked because of the false teachings it consists of? Different people are going to have different reasons, but Christianity does claim that they have the ultimate truth. They did that back in the beginning. That's why they did a lot of things that they did. And that was the only so-called spiritual system back at that time, spiritual system that said that it had the ultimate truth above all things and everybody else. Okay, that's why people a lot of times come at Christianity and Christians, is because they know that Christianity, a lot of the stuff is ridiculous. I mean, think about this. A man supposedly walked on water. Nobody else in history has ever done that before. Okay. A man supposedly turned water into wine. Nobody else has ever done that before. And we're supposed to believe these absurd things. A man died for 3 days and he didn't stink like hell. You know? I mean, he was in a cave in the desert. Come on now. So, but Christianity wants you to believe these ideas. And back in the time, they were actually said these ideas are so absurd that you have to believe them, just simply because they're absurd. Okay. So, yeah. But anyway, I'll address that stuff in my class as well. So I address all of that. So, yeah.
Thank you, Tana B. I'm acting like
Tana B. Gatlin.
Yeah.
$20. Thank you very much. Thank you. Priming that pump. Yeah. I think I heard some dings on the deal here. Yeah, Maggie D. Cesar gave $5 on the Cash App. Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate you. Priming that pump. That's family again. Okay. Let's see.
I think this was for me. Cabello asked, are you knowledgeable on the zodiac body? Are you referencing how the zodiacs play out in our physical form? So yes, so Aries starts with the head, Taurus is the neck, Gemini is the duality of the lungs, the arms, Cancer is the stomach. What's after Cancer? Leo is that's also what, the back, I believe, or is that Libra? But Leo represents the sacral chakra, which is ego. But yeah, so to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, and all that is again, it's you got to understand where this knowledge comes from. Is again that the foundation of it is Kemetic, and the idea is that man is the universe in physical form.
Exactly.
So all the planets are essentially the analysis of our inner being that we can see outside of ourselves.
Right.
So it's all connected to us on some kind of level. So all the planets are energetically represented within us. That's what this means. Well, what that means, and what that idea is called now is anthropocosmos, or man as the universe, mankind as the universe. Okay. Right. So that's where these ideas come from.
As above, so below, as within, so without.
There you go. Bingo. So that's why it works. Because there is truth in it. Let's see.
Here we go.
Going down. Let's see. Question 42: laws and idols of Mod. Which do you prefer to recite that I have or I will not? I don't use that. I love music because the universe doesn't hear I not. Okay. So I don't know how true the 42 laws of Ma'at are, because from my metaphysical studies and knowledge, to say something in a negative way only turns your attention towards the thing that you don't want. So when you're doing that, the universe doesn't hear the not. All the universe knows is that your attention is on whatever it is you're saying that you don't want, which ultimately ends up bringing you what you don't want. So I don't agree with the 42 laws of Ma'at, and I do not recite the 42 laws of Ma'at. That's not something I do. I much rather affirm And what I do is I affirm what it is that I desire and the things that I want in my life. I affirm it. I don't say things that I don't want, because my attention is turned to what I don't want
Right.
soon as I start talking about what I don't want,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of times what we do. You know,
Right.
we invite the negative. We stay focused on the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if we want to create something different, we got to focus on the positive.
I actually posted that in the KCL fam Facebook group today. What you either create what you want or what you fear. So
yep, absolutely. You're going to create what you focus on. And
right.
if the fears that you have is what you focus on the most, that's what you're going to create in your life, because your attention is on those fears.
Right. That's what you're giving power to. That's what you're giving.
That's what you're giving power to.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see, what religion you have now, or is you spiritual? Yeah, I don't religion. This is what religion is: man-made rules.
Mm-hmm.
Spirituality is our natural connection that we're born with.
Yes.
Religion, we're taught. Spirituality is what we are, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So I don't subscribe to a religion. I don't subscribe to anybody's particular system.
Right.
I use Kemetic spirituality as a framework, and I love it because it actually it can remove the Christian stuff that we've been taught, all the BS that we've been taught in Christianity. I can go and learn what the ancients actually meant by it, and say, hey, this is what the ancients meant, and this is what Christianity did to change it, to really add, they're going to add fear, guilt, and shame. That's what religion does as Christian. And I talk specifically about Christianity because that's what I've experienced. Okay. So I talk about my experience, and I relate to those who have experienced what I have through Christianity and living through Christianity. So I don't know Islam because I've never studied Islam. I've never been Islamic or Muslim. I've never been Jewish. So I don't study, Judaism. I don't study Buddhism. I've looked at it a little bit here and there, but I've lived Christianity, and I see the difference between the Kemetic teachings and my metaphysical knowledge. I know the difference between what Christianity is taught and what and the foundation of where it came from. And Kemetic spirituality is two different things. Okay, so I don't subscribe to any religion or anybody's religion.
Right. And the same for me. I didn't necessarily take the same path as my dad, but I decided after Christianity wasn't giving me the answers I was looking for, I decided I don't need anyone to tell me how to get to the truth. I want to discover it for myself based on my own experiences and what resonates with me. I don't need anybody else to tell me or guide me. And I feel like that's what religion does, is tries to funnel everybody down this one path of how to be or how to do, when in reality, we're here to discover our own individual potential and path back to our true nature.
Yes, absolutely. Agree 100%. And that's one of the things that I really try to get people to understand is that it's not about you trying to follow somebody else, because ultimately you have to make your own decisions and your own choices. But the deeper thing is that you have a subjective experience that is actually being projected outside of you. And there are experiences that we can have that are unlike anybody else's.
Right.
But what will happen is if we cannot confirm our experience, our inner experience with somebody else, we dismiss it. Christianity teaches you to dismiss your inner experience and teaches you to call everything Jesus. Everything that you're familiar with and feel good about, you call it Jesus. Anything that you're unfamiliar with, which is a lot, you fear it, you call it the devil. So it funnels your whole idea about your inner subjective experience, which is your truth. It funnels it into a way that it's supposed to be made objective with everybody else. And that's not how it's supposed to be, because you have natural abilities. All of us have natural abilities that we can bring something through to the planet that can only come through us when we have the courage to live our truth.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And it does take courage in this time and place.
Yep. Indeed.
It takes courage.
Indeed. Do not conform, and don't need anyone else to confirm what's truth for you. We all have our own inner compass. Allow your inner compass to guide you to what's true for you.
Yeah. And if you're not used to doing that and going your own way, and a lot of times coming out of Christianity, I understand how a lot of people are really unsure, and it doesn't feel good,
Yeah.
So I get that. And that's where I like to try to bridge people from that, what I call them beginners necessarily, or call them beginners, but being that bridge from Christianity into spirituality and being confident in who you are and your own individual authentic self.
Right.
Because that's really what it's about. And once you gain that confidence and courage, man, life is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely gives you the tools to help you learn how to trust yourself and know that it's okay. Because the Bible says, don't lean on your own understanding. False. It's
false.
Okay. Yeah.
The way that they have taught that is false.
Right.
Okay? Definitely. But if you understand it from an esoteric perspective, it can be very powerful. Because what it's saying is you need to connect to your higher self and not your ego mind, not let your ego mind run things. Okay. Your ego understanding is not as powerful as the higher self and that higher knowledge that's within you.
Right.
So when it's telling you to lean not on your own understanding, the churches use that to basically control people.
Yep.
But in reality, it's about you connecting to your higher self. Okay. It can be very powerful.
Dulce Maria. Hey girl. Hey, thank you. Always showing love. Let's see.
There you go. I like that. Ancient of Day says all truths are half truth. Absolutely. And that's what people don't understand. We got two different perspectives. I like to do an exercise where I have two people face each other and tell them to point to the right and look to the right. Guess what? One person's looking that way and one person's looking that way.
But neither are wrong. Yep.
Who's seeing the truth? Because all truths are half truth. It's about perspective.
Yep.
Bam. All right, Glam Mother's in the house. What's up, Karen? How's it going? See, she's in the house. That's family again. All right, all right. Let's see. How did I get that? How did I get that? Okay. Yes, got to have courage to live your truth. Absolutely, positively.
Much love to you. Always sending positive vibes in the chat. Love her.
And as Christians, we're always taught that we have to check with the preacher, we have to check with the deacon, we have to check with the church body to actually live our own freaking life. And afraid of being judged that we're not Christian enough. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah. So let's see.
Let's see one question.
Let's see. Do you all think human beings wrote the Bible? Yeah. How else? Cabello, absolutely. It's too wise and prophetic for a normal person to make up. I disagree. You're coming from a Christian perspective, a religious perspective. So there are many books that are just as wise and prophetic today that we can read.
Right.
Okay. All comes from the same place, the higher self. So a human had to have written the Bible. There's no way that it could not have been written without human hands and a human mind. Okay. So yeah, that's a religious perspective. Let's see. Are fraternal organizations such as Freemasons deeply rooted and connected to ancient Egypt? Yeah, just by the symbolism, Frederick Jackson. So they're ancient. I was in a Mason group for a little while. They kicked me out. I asked too many questions, and a lot of those guys I knew more than they did about their own stuff. because it's all Egyptian and ancient symbolism. I had been studying it for years. So by the time I got in that group, I had to go through their rituals of getting, becoming what they call the master mason and all that stuff. But I already knew a lot of that stuff. I was practicing. So I was telling the what is, I forget what his title was called, but he was like the leader of the lodge. I was riding somewhere with him one day and was telling him that I was doing that I read tarot cards. He was Christian. Oh, tarot cards. Soon as he did that, I knew I was in trouble. He was like, it's because the Masons are supposed to be a group open to all people in all religions. But they have their what do you call it? They have groups that they have white groups, they have black groups. Okay. Prince Hall Masons and then the other so-called regular Masons, you know. So they're separatists. They everything that is wrong with society, they do the same thing in those groups. And that annoyed the hell out of me. So when they kicked me out, they did me a favor.
Oh wait, sorry. Alpha Film, you heard my dog in the background? Yeah, he was doing that backward sneeze thing. He all right though, if anybody was worried.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Charles, absolutely be better off doing your own thing. Absolutely. Living life on your terms. That's what it's about to me. So it's about living life on your terms, creating life. As long as you're not hurting other people, do your thing, Chicken Wang.
Right.
And have fun doing it.
Yep.
Find a way to make it fun.
Yep.
That's what life is about.
I literally be living in my own world. It don't have to make sense to nobody else, but I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it here. Y'all can come hang out with me here if you want to. If not, bye.
Absolutely. Peace. Deuces. See, you wouldn't want to be. So absolutely.
Olatunji has a question.
Can you briefly explain universal laws? Well, I'll explain one big one. And from the Kemetic, we can put it in a simplified terms is what you put out is what you get back. In other words, from the Kemetic perspective, everything that is outside of you is a reflection of the inner you. Everything that is outside of you is symbolic in some kind of way of the inner essence of who you are. Mm-hmm. All right. You're literally creating what's outside of you. Mm-hmm. If you guys saw how the ancient Egyptians actually defined the eye, the symbol for the eye, man, it's so freaking deep. I mean, we don't actually see what's out there. We're literally projecting what's out there.
Yeah. Ooh,
if you're in a room right now, the room is not, you're not in the room. The room is in you. Think about it. That's so deep. So everything that you see around you is actually a projection from within you. You have the ability to create your projection.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's the deep stuff.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I'm trying to get people to, because I've seen it work for me in my life. I've seen it work for the students in African Mind Rewire, that we literally are able to create the things that we want. Mm-hmm. We're not 100% all the time, because we're a work in progress. Everybody is, but it's deep.
Yeah, and I always tell people in my readings, look, dang, I just had a brain fart that fast. You can't look in the mirror and expect the mirror to change. You got to change you first, and then the reflection or what's being reflected back to you will change. And I also tell them to observe your waking life as if you are in a dream state, because there's so much symbolism that's around us all the time, and hints to our inner world that is around us all the time if you just tune in and pay attention and raise your awareness, okay, to all the messages that are around you.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that, so I'm the course that I'm creating, I'm going to have a class with it. And one of the things I'm going to start teaching people how to do is how to connect to their higher self, how to recognize when these things are happening, and so that you can be a scientist. You can literally literally do step by step what you need to do to recognize and connect to your higher self and to be an intentional creator. Okay. Because when we're talking about connecting to the Christ and the ancient ideas, it was really about being able to direct our consciousness. And consciousness is essentially a tool for the soul, is really what it is. And consciousness creates, but you got to know the tools and the mechanisms of how that works. Okay. And it's powerful.
Man, powerful stuff.
Absolutely.
Most stuff.
Let's see.
I couldn't tell y'all how many times I get this, Daddy. Anytime I do a reading for anybody in the class, you look just like your daddy.
Right. I hear. That's all right. You get it honestly.
Look, I appreciate you. Thank you for your contribution.
Right. That DNA is strong.
Indeed it is. Y'all should see my brother.
That strong DNA, as we say, as we used to say in the hood. So yeah. So all right. Let's see. I'm just looking for questions here, guys. Let's see. Okay. So Eugene Dorsey, what's up? Says, so basically everything I'm doing my damnedest to manifest, I have already, right? In a sense, yes. Everything already exists. And there's a scripture in the Bible that actually speaks to that, where Jesus says the Father knows what you need before you ask. I think it's Matthew chapter 6, verse 7, I think it is. But the Father knows what you need before you ask. But a lot of people think that they're talking about this Father God-like person, But you're literally, you have the ability, everything that is possible already exists. All you have to do is raise your level of vibration to realize those things that you want, So what's
goodness, firecrackers?
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Dude, that sounded like that was like right next to you.
It's that right outside. Yeah, right outside. Sorry about that, guys.
People. That's jacked up.
I know, right?
So you're just the trick is to figure out how the mechanisms that you need to raise your vibration. Okay. Yeah, I think Dose Maria, I think you might be right. Matthew 7 and 6 and 7. Somewhere around in there. Somewhere around there. Dose Maria will be coming with the scriptures. Let's see. Great question. So is there a difference between spiritual and metaphysical? No. So spiritual is our ancient word. Metaphysical is our modern word. Same concepts. So meta means above. Okay. Spiritual means just that it's not physical. It's not matter. So meta means above the physical. It's not matter. So above matter. Okay. So spiritual and metaphysical are the same concepts, just two different words. Good question. Okay. Let's see. So netters being personified forces that also exist within us is a valid interpretation. Yeah, because netters are nature. So netters are basically functions of nature personified. Okay, that's one way that we could say that. Okay. We are nature. So we are netters as human beings. So not that it exists within us, they are us. So we are nature personified. Okay? In a way. That's one way to look at that. Okay? All right. Greg Scott gave $3, says blessings up. Namaste, family. Namaste. Love. Ashe.
Thanks, Greg.
Hey. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you. All right. Let's see. Judy Smith Randall says, "How do we ANE? What is that? I don't know what that is, Judy. You can't put them codes on me like that, Judy." So let's see here. All right, I guess are we questioned out? Because
Let
it
me
is
go
about
make
that
sure I didn't
time.
miss none.
Huh?
I said I'm going back to make sure I didn't miss any.
Okay.
One.
Let's see. So Yeshua used to exist, but isn't at the same time. No. Yeshua that's just the name of Jesus before there was a J. That's all it is. So Yeshua, Jesus, Yehusa, all of those are the same thing. But J didn't exist until what, about the 1500s. So they had to instead of a J, it was spelled with an I, but pronounced with a Y. So we just use a Y today. So just got to understand it linguistically. Okay. Let's see. How do we line up with what we want? Judy, that's what we teaching in class. They got to come to class to get that. Come on with it. Come on with it. All right. Let's see. Carol Wedderburn says, "Is God the one giving you what you want, or are you manifest even if you have faith in God?" Just asking. Good question. Good question. Washa, you wanna go for that one right quick, and
I'm
then I
going
can
to
come
tell you
behind
that
you.
you are God. Have
Hello.
faith in yourself.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have faith in yourself by learning the truth of the truth of the universe, what's actually possible, and understanding that you are God and you create through your vibration, through your intention. The universe is mind. So if you conquer your mind, know thyself, that is how you create the frequency to manifest what you desire. So you are God. Learn to have faith in yourself.
Yeah, and this is the thing is understand that from a Christian perspective, we are taught that God is something outside of us. And from the ancient African perspective, we are God in human form. We're not the God, we're not the creator. So we're not the same magnitude, but we're the same stuff. We're made in the image of God. Okay.
Yeah.
But the image is not physical. Okay. That's where Christianity has done us all a disservice, and white supremacy and racism has done us all a disservice by making Jesus this white looking dude, like as if God is something physical. So we are the same stuff as the creator, with the same ability as the creator on this plane of existence. Faith is simply a tool. Okay. And it is a tool to bridge you from you don't have it yet to when you get it. I got to find that camera again. To when you get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So having faith means that because all of us have faith in something. Usually it's more and this is how I define like fear. Okay, when you live in fear, you're afraid, oh, I'm not going to be able to make my bill. I'm not going to be able to get enough people in my business. I'm not going to be able to do, blah. You live in fear. You have more faith that the negative thing can happen than the positive thing. That's what fear is.
Mm-hmm.
You have a stronger belief in the negative outcome than the positive outcome. So everybody has faith in something. The trick is to flip it and know that what you desire is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Faith is riding out that lag time. It's coming. You just got to hold the vibration.
Yeah, you got to hold the vibration, or you got to get to that vibration, to that knowing, to that feeling of whatever it is that you desire. Okay? So you are God in human form. Olatunde Shamari. Yeah, this is really, really simple. Listen to some of your favorite music. Watch a funny movie.
Pet your dog. Go
Pet
for
your
a walk.
dog. Yeah, go for a walk out in nature. In other words, raising your vibration is simply feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that simple. When you feel good, your vibration is high. When you feel bad, your vibration is low. What do? Because you have the power to change how you feel at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
You have the power to do it.
Right.
So how do you do that? Again, listen to some good music. This, gets you going.
Moment to moment.
Huh?
I was just saying that moment to moment, having that awareness of what do I want to feel. It's a decision.
It's a decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decision. Feeling good, high vibration. Feeling bad, low vibration. And you can decide.
And once again, whatever is happening in your reality is a reflection of something that you need to conquer or address within you so that you won't experience that same cycle. So to break the cycle, you have to decide to vibrate differently, think differently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make a different choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say those negative confessions. If you're constantly focused on that negative thing, it's going to put you in a certain mood, in a certain vibration that you're going to attract, or not even attract, that you're going to create the things that you don't want.
Right.
Okay. Focus on the other stuff. Focus on what you do want.
And just like we were talking about earlier, there are infinite perspectives. So you can choose to see the one in which you're not getting or experiencing what you want, or you can flip it and choose to see the opposite, or choose to see it in a way that does benefit you. So
bingo.
There's wisdom. How many perspectives can you see?
Yep.
Right.
And there's infinite perspectives. And that means that there's infinite vibrations. But the essence of who you are is being projected vibrationally, is symbolized by all the things that are around you. They are the analysis of your being. That's what you're seeing outside yourself.
Yeah.
The stars, the moons, and the planets are the analysis of our being, our birth chart. When the day we were born, the birth chart reflects the analysis of our being through the stars, the moon, and everything else, and the planets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So absolutely. All right. Well, hey, it is about that time. It is 8:07.
Yes.
So we'll have to shut it down. Go ahead, Voice. You were saying something?
I was just saying I enjoyed you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your presence, your questions, your energy. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Love it. It's always high vibrational. It's always a good feeling.
And so thanks to everyone who primed the pump tonight. You guys are always so generous. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Much appreciated. So everybody, those, Dark Goddess and Ra the Creator, again, thank you guys always. So y'all are always so consistent in being here. Definitely appreciate you. And again, everybody that gave, thank you very much. And my co-host and sidekick, thank you for being here. Thank you.
More than welcome, Daddy. Love you so much.
All right. Love you too, baby girl. All right, guys. Well, we'll do this again next week. Y'all come on back. All right.
Bye.
Y'all have a great day.